Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of the Urban Homesteading channel. If this is your first visit with us, we want to extend to you a very warm welcome. If you've been here before, we want to welcome you back. If today is your birthday, we want to wish you a very happy birthday. Since we bought our laser, which is right here in front of me, we've actually used it quite a lot. Right, Elpida?
Yeah.
We've used it on a couple of projects, and I've used it for a couple of mistakes. I've used it a lot to learn. I mean, there is a learning curve. We're getting better at it, right? And we can do neat things. And here's an example of a very very cheap piece of wood. We got it at the dollar store, and gives you a very good idea without wasting a lot of money of how something will look, right?
Right.
So in this episode, we want to talk about that. With everything increasing in price, especially wood, what are some ways that you can actually even make money with this, with a little or two, right? Because actually you can make money with this. And if this woodworking deal doesn't work for us, maybe we'll go into lasering. But the things we have done is we have tried boards that we took off, and as you can see, they are great ways to practice, right? You can play with settings, and if you need it, you can still use this board, right? You can throw it through the planer, and
Yeah.
it's like
good to go.
a millimeter thickness. It's not a big deal. So in this episode, if you are thinking of buying one of these, or if you have one and you are shocked at the prices of wood, like Elpida was in our last episode, then let's talk about some inexpensive ways to make projects to sell or hone in your skill level, right? There are some fairly inexpensive ways to make signs. This is an example, right? And this is another dollar store. And the neat thing about this is you don't need any tooling, right? The dollar store has a lot of different shapes. Again, for $1.25 today.
Right.
But you don't need to have a saw or the skill to do anything, right?
Right.
They have heart shapes and arrows, all kinds of very interesting things. And if your material is $1 and you sell it even for $15, you make decent profit, decent markup, right?
Right.
And people like personalized things. Like this is a nice personalized item, right? That someone can put it on their wall, or you can write the name of a business. I mean, all kinds of interesting things, right?
Right.
So those are good ideas. And did you know you can make laser multicolor rainbow art, right? And you can see an example here. These are rainbow something paper.
Rainbow scratch paper.
Rainbow scratch paper. Rainbow something, like the rainbow something. And you can buy 25 or 50 for a very reasonable amount of money. And again, you match this with a cheap frame, and the right, ideally the right dimension frame, right?
Yeah.
That will work. And you have a very nice gift or something to sell, right? A personalized item to sell. Another thing you can do with that, and this again is what? It's a $1 frame, right?
Or $1.25. They've raised the prices here.
Yeah, I don't remember if that is from the dollar store, is it? Yeah. So another good thing about that is we want to learn how to etch in glass. And this is actually glass, it's not acrylic, right?
Okay.
So for $1, you can have a nice piece of glass to experiment. And if it doesn't go well, it didn't go well, right?
Right.
But again, you can see this, I think. You can match an inexpensive frame with an inexpensive background and make something really neat. And what I like about this is because a lot of people will see, what, a color lasering? How is that even possible, right? I will tell you the downside of this. When you engrave this, it stinks. You will not enjoy this.
Okay.
You will not stay in the house, actually.
Do it in a well-ventilated area.
No, it doesn't generate fumes. Something that, when it burns it, has a very high smell.
That's saying a lot because
What?
You don't normally mind.
Are you going to say something mean about me?
No, you don't normally mind, and I'm the one who complains about
Right.
all the smells. So this means I could never be present while this is going.
Another great material is MDF. Again, I buy sheets of this and it is sent to the sheet, right? It is a very good. And I buy it on Amazon. Maybe you find it in another location. I'm sure Michael's has it, but probably Amazon is cheaper or something like that.
Depends. You got to shop around with Amazon these days.
And what is neat about this is that you can make shapes, like you can cut it. This is easy to cut with a laser, a diode laser. As you can see, it's about 3 millimeters,
Okay.
And you can cut it and make shapes and symbols and boxes and things of this nature. And also, I use it actually to practice now. Right? That's my practice board.
Okay.
Because it engraves very nicely. A free thing, right, is this. We all get packages that come in cardboard boxes. And this is a cardboard box of, what do you call it, flop?
Just
Not
a flap
Flap, not flop.
that we cut off. Yeah.
And as you can see, it engraves very, very nicely. Right, very sharp.
Yep.
Now, I wouldn't do anything for sales for this, but for practicing,
To get
this
the
is
feel
zero
of
cost
your
to you.
to get the feel of your laser, to know the depth that you want
Right.
to do, and that sort of thing. Okay.
And this is a zero cost thing. A thing that I came across recently and I love it is this. What do you think of this, Elpida?
I think it looks really cool. Like it.
And this is another $1.25. And this is bamboo, by the way. This is solid bamboo. Look at it.
Yeah.
$1.25 at the dollar store. Now, I read about it and I tried to find it and I couldn't because they sell it as a cutting board, which of course it isn't.
Well, like I said, it's a small cutting board.
But when I went the first time to find it, I was like, oh, it's one of those things that the store doesn't have, but they say it has, right? But it is indeed supposed to be a cutting board. And when I was just looking for other things, I happened to come across it and you just don't see it because you're not looking for something this size. Or at least me. Maybe for this wine.
Well, we think of a cutting board as being somewhat larger, so this is more like a bar-sized cutting board or something like that.
And what I like about this, it comes wrapped,
In plastic.
which means that even if you're in a very humid area of the country, this will last for a long time. It does not absorb moisture because it's wrapped, it's sealed, right?
Okay.
And when you take it out, you can hold it a bit. It's very smooth to the touch.
Yeah.
I think it makes people would put that on their, do I have it upside down or correct?
Nope, it's correct.
This would make a very nice little, you make a hole here that you can hang it, right?
Or you could be choosy with your symbols and do some other sort of picture.
Oh yeah, this is just an example. I really like this.
That etched really nicely.
Yeah. And it is just both proof of concept that you can do it. And also I was looking for something that can be displayed. And I think this can be displayed easily without difficulty, right?
Yeah.
The last piece that I have, and I'm really excited about this, are those pens. You can buy 20 to 25 for them for a few dollars. And it is also bamboo. Here, you can see,
Yep. Can see it.
right?
Yep.
And this is not plastic that looks like bamboo. This is actually bamboo.
Okay.
And very, very cheap. You can personalize them. You don't need the rotation appliance. I don't have that. Definitely, if you have it, you can engrave around it, right?
Right.
But if you want to write a name, like your kid's name or something, or a message,
Or a business name or something
right,
like that.
you can do it with this stationery. You will engrave a line, right?
Right.
So that is very, very doable. It's a nice little pen. Elpida doesn't like it because it is not very thin.
Right. It's a medium point pen, and I don't like those.
Yeah, but other than that, it works. And it has a very nice line, right? So it's a functional pen, very inexpensive. And of course, and you let me forget about that, Elpida.
I did.
These are also
yeah.
extremely cheap.
Your cork coasters.
Right, and here.
Okay, hang on.
Again, these are pennies to the dollar. Pennies to the piece.
Yeah.
And it is cork. It engraves very nicely. I had a moment ago one. What did I do with it?
You probably mixed it in there. Or is it that one? Upside down?
But yeah. So it engraves really nicely, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I have it correctly there. Yes. I guess like this, right?
There. The only trick is getting it centered a little bit.
And I'm getting better with it. I mean, that's something you, with a little practice, to do. And what I like about them is self-adhesive.
Right. So you could put them on something else.
Or you can put them as a coaster or put them on a coaster to absorb more.
Right.
Because they're cork. And speaking of cork, the dollar store also has cork seats.
Right.
For $1. And that's another option for do-it-yourself things, right? And we definitely have used many engravings on wood. We made gifts that we send to people.
Right.
Several of those actually, you know. Even using our old laser, which is anemic compared to our new one, right? And still it engraved, like your grandmother's gift was engraved with the old one.
Both of them, yeah.
And really it did a great job. So you don't need to spend a lot of money to have some really good engraving experience, right?
Right.
Well, I wanted to just make this short Wednesday video to share with you that information, right? Anything we need to add, Alpina?
I don't think so. I think we covered it.
I'm definitely looking forward to engrave on glass. That's something I've not tried yet.
That's your next project.
But everything else I've tried, I really like the look of this. I really, really like the look of this.
Turned out very nice.
And the neat thing is, like if you feel it, it is engraved. It's not a light engraving, right? When you run your fingers over them,
you can feel it.
you know it is engraved. And if you pass with a little poly, it will be nice and shiny and protected, and it will be an awesome gift. Again, something like this, and this will probably be printed into this as well, right? I mean, and what I like, I mean, these are pieces we can make, but realistically, it's probably cheaper to buy them.
Yeah, for the
Because
cost.
If we buy a sheet of balsa and we make it in the shop, it will take us hours.
Because we don't have a CNC.
No, we don't have a CNC. So unless you have a CNC, these are actually cheaper to buy ready than to make, and they are not expensive at all. I mean, I can bet you something like that will sell on Etsy for 10, 15 bucks, right? And you pay back 25.
Yeah, yeah.
Plus, on our tour, it engraves in about 10 minutes. Now, on an old one, it will take 35 minutes, but you know.
Right, right.
But again, if you think about it, 10 minutes in half an hour, you can make 3, 4, you know, 8 per hour, you know, 300 bucks
Right.
in an hour's work, right? I mean, it is not a bad deal.
Right. Because once you set it, then.
Right. And once you've set the parameters of where you want to engrave, you repeat it, you know, it is a fairly straightforward process. And the reason I made this video is because there is a lot of talk, and it is appropriate, how expensive material is, especially wood. And all I wanted to show is sometimes you can go from free to fairly inexpensive but fairly nice. I'm impressed how consistent this is for the price. I mean, this is very nice.
Yeah, it's very nicely done.
And it is fairly thick, actually. I mean, it is not just a thin piece of wood. Yeah. Now, you won't be able to cut this with a 40-watt laser, you know, like ours. So if you want to cut it, you need to go something thinner. Something like this.
Right.
About between 3 millimeters and 5 millimeters thickness plywood is what these lasers can cut.
Okay.
We hope you found some value in this video. And if you did, we'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down button twice. Share, like, subscribe. Let us know what else you might want to see on future episodes of the Urban Homesteading channel. Stay safe, put your masks on, get vaccinated, so we can see you again in future episodes of our channel. From Dr. Weasel, Elpida at the Urban Homesteading channel, stay safe, friends.